Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast in game 1 in a series between Hero versus Puma, and Hero spawning as the blue Protoss player on the bottom left hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Evil Genius's Puma spawning on the top right. Protoss versus Terran here in the Xel'Naga Caverns from two Koreans who are part of the foreigner scene. Hero playing now for Team Liquid. Meanwhile, Evil Genius's Puma obviously playing for Evil Genius's. I believe Evil Genius's picked him up right after NASL. Liquid Hero was picked up right before Huck moved over to Evil Genius's, as I believe Hero will be going for some cheese play here in the Xel'Naga Cavern. So Pylon already going to be coming in as we now look to see what exactly this probe will try to do in order to follow up. If the probe simply went up the ramp now, it would be too much of an indicator to Puma that cheese play is coming in. So this probe may wander around, warp in a warp gate, and then try to figure out, try to perhaps move back around and then come back in. So you can take a look at the probe. The probe already coming here. Gonna go ahead and activate the Xel'Naga Tower. Not quite sure why he went along this direction here, as he now comes back down to the south. A barracks already being added as we now see Hero with that gateway. The gateway, 65 seconds to build, equivalent to a barracks, as the barracks also takes 65 seconds as well. And the Zealots are going to have a lot of hit points and deal a lot of damage. The only thing that really can save Puma is the fact that the the Marines are range units, and if they can finish off a wall in here, those Marines will be able to just start firing at the Zealots, and the Zealots will be on the far side. Now, probe just wandering around on the inside of the space so far. The probe timing pretty decent here, as this probe already down to 12 shields, and now battling it out against that SCV. The SCV does have more hit points, so not quite sure why this probe feels so lucky, trying to go head to head, and now he warps in a pylon. So Hero going to do a block for himself as he sees a Zealot now making his way inside the base. Puma waiting for the minerals. It looks like, yes, he's gonna build a barracks here just in time, and the Zealot unable to get damage onto that SCV. If that SCV could be taken out, that would be huge, as a Marine now just taking pop shots at the Zealot. The Zealot down to 97 hit points after losing all of its shields, and now perhaps going to come back in with double Zealots once more. A second Marine gonna be added here, but the Zealots unable to really do anything at all, as there's a Marine now up on the high ground, as the Zealots are just outside of combat range but do have sight up onto the high ground here. SCV now taking a look at the gateway and the Cybernetics core, a pretty standard build. After that opening cheese, you can see the Cybernetics core and that gateway being built back at home, as we are now moving into double barracks. The Zealot's gonna go straight after that SCV. SCV down to 1 hit point. It does get taken down, but I believe the Zealots did take a little bit more damage than they were bargaining for, as the Zealot needs to back off there and make sure it doesn't take any more damage. You can see that Hero does have sight up onto the high ground, so what can happen is that the Stalkers can try... No, the Marines are going to try to push out first, and the Marines are going to push back all of these Zealots, and now it is going to be Stalkers against Zealots here. The one Zealot taking a lot of damage, trying to continue to push their way in. Another SCV may get taken down. Both sides continuing to push. That Zealot's going to get taken down. Down it goes, and really not that many worker kills. Taking a look at the total losses right now, the losses are slightly higher for Puma, but with Hero and a 7 hit point Stalker, as soon as this Stalker goes, it is going to swing in the other direction. Now, this one gateway still trying to train up more units. Warp gate tech about halfway. And as we now see the Stalker trying to take down the supply depot, apparently mad at a Terran building, and was just going to try to destroy anything that's Terran here. Stalker now making its way up the ramp, getting some easy shots, easy damage here. Now going back after the supply depot, still dancing back and forth, as that supply depot will get taken down. I believe the bunker was spotted, so Hero should know that he cannot walk up onto that ramp easily. Alright, double Marines inside that bunker now. Double bunkers inside that Marine, quad Marines inside that bunker, as the Stalkers and Sentries now just trying to play a little bit of game of chicken. What you're going to see here is that the Sentry is going to try to place down a force field if the Marines do push out. If they do push out, the Marines can actually end up getting pushed closer, and one good force field is all it would take to really hurt Puma in the long run, and then force Puma to still build up a lot of defensive units. Harvester count 23 to 25. Stalker taking a lot of damage there, not quite sure, as we are going into Banshees with Cloak. We are, however, also going in getting a robotics facility, so that's going to be important, as the Marines were able to push their way in, sniping down one of the Stalkers already, and perhaps going to snipe down another Stalker. No, the Marines already backing off here, doesn't want to engage against the Stalker in open field, as we see Hero now establishing his Nexus. So Hero hoping to change this early cheese into an economic advantage. Currently a little bit behind, as the Marines are now going to all come down the ramp. 13 Marines making their way in. The force field just a little bit late, and he needed to split that up and a little bit earlier, and that would have been enough. It looks like the Marines are going to be able to finish off perhaps a sentry, and now going after the proxy pylon here, but more units will be warped in. Sentry now getting in some more kills. More Marines coming back in. The Sentry may get taken down. There it goes. As the Zealots now going to lead the charge once more. Only 2 Stalkers in this group, though. The Stalkers are really the range and DPS units here. The Zealots are more of a meat shield. But now with the Siege Tank joining in on that fight, and the superior range on a Siege Tank, and the fast firing rate, I believe the Stalkers are all just going to force to retreat. There goes another Stalker, as the Marines now finish off this pylon and that building here. Back over here to the south, there was a Banshee. I didn't see it on the minimap, but it gets taken down. But only 2 worker kills total. So 2 worker kills total. Not very much going on there, as the Marines and Siege Tanks finished off this proxy pylon and that warp gate. Now, Hero is running off of 2 bases. Puma, essentially, without a command center, needs to all in, and he is going to be doing that. That is a lot of SCVs to bring out with you. A dozen SCVs, and I do not think Hero knows about this. There is one Banshee that's really overexposed. It's going to get taken down very quickly, as now we're going to have another engagement. I believe the Stalker down to 12 hit points cannot really fight any further. That Siege Tank is a little bit just as fast, as now the SCVs are back down over here. We are getting some Immortals. The Immortals will be good counters to those Siege Tanks, but the SCVs have hit points to spare, as probes are now getting taken down. The SCVs all just in full retreat. Siege Tanks looking to finish off the Nexus. No, not finishing off the Nexus right now, as there are currently 3 Stalkers. Siege Tank about 30 seconds away. One of those Siege Tanks have taken a lot of damage. Immortal now trying to push their way through, dealing 50 damage per attack. SCVs really need to repair those Siege Tanks, as you can see that the Hardened Shield's really activating and keeping those units alive. Immortal down to 107 hit points, not looking good, but in comes a Banshee. The Banshee does do a scanner sweep, sees up onto the high ground. Siege Tank still without, oh, do have Siege Tank now, are going to siege up in just a moment, but the Stalkers are going to finish off the Siege Tank, I believe. Immortal with a range of 6, able to finish it off, as now SCVs and Banshees are battling it out. The Banshee able to get through those hardened shields, and now this Siege Tank down to 13 hit points needs to be repaired, and in a hurry. SCVs are not repairing it. One more shot from a Stalker will finish it off, or even an Immortal, and it looks like it will be an Immortal. There's the shot there. There's the exchange, as the Immortal now runs away from Marines, doesn't want to engage against Marines, but Hero is in trouble. 29 to 49. Down goes another Immortal there, as the Marines are continuing this push. Warp gates, Stalkers, SCVs, there's the force field preventing a lot of the Marines from engaging. This Banshee needs to get repaired. There's one observer there keeping track of everything, as the SCVs are coming back home or coming back underneath that Banshee to repair it. That Banshee still dealing a lot of damage still, as we are still continually getting reinforcements, and Puma now up to 27 Harvesters compared to 16. Marines looking to finish off and take down and deny this gas, perhaps also take down the robotics facility. It looks as though the Banshee only has to deal with 1 more observers, as the rest have been taken down. A lot of extra chrono boost off of the second Nexus for Hero, as Hero able to replenish forces, and now an all-in defense. Probes trying to finish off the Marines, more Siege Tanks coming in, and I believe that will be GG, as Hero unable to fend off the counterattack after Puma stops the initial rush. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.